MMA Boxing Talk here, coming at you with another video. Just want to put out a quick video talking about the breaking news in the UFC. A nice, solid, very awesome, fan favorite fight just got made. Former lightweight champion Anthony Showtime Pettis is taking on Edson Barbosa. I am absolutely thrilled about this matchup. It's a MMA fans' dream matchup. It really is. You got two of the best strikers in MMA. I mean, arguably two of the best. You know, you could argue that they're both in the top 10 if you're talking best strikers in MMA. Now, if you're talking who's got the best kicks, Anthony Pettis and Edson Barbosa are maybe top 5. I mean, they have phenomenal kicks. Very fast, very powerful, very accurate and technical. This is going to be a very exciting fight. You know, Anthony Pettis, like I said, he's a former champion. He was on quite the roll. People really seen him as unbeatable until he lost to Rafael dos Anjos, who now is the lightweight champion. So Anthony Pettis, he before he won his title in 2013, before that he beat Donald Cerrone, stopped him in the first round via body kick. Then he went on to win the title against Benson Henderson, submitting him in round 1. Now Benson Henderson at that point had never been submitted, so Pettis was the first guy to submit him. Then Pettis defended his title for the first time against Gilbert Melendez, who he also submitted in the second round, and Gilbert Melendez also had never been submitted before that fight with Pettis. So, you know, Pettis was coming off of 2 submissions against guys who had never been submitted before. We all knew he was a phenomenal striker, you know, some of the best kicks in MMA. So I really thought, you know, this guy can either submit you, he can knock you out. I really thought this guy was for real. And he is a great fighter. I'm not taking nothing away from him. But he lost his belt to Rafael dos Anjos RDA. And he beat him soundly over 5 rounds. So Pettis lost the title. That was last year, last March. Then Pettis just fought in January, and he lost to Eddie Alvarez. It was a kind of a shitty fight. I mean, Alvarez basically just held him up against the cage. He might have controlled Pettis for a good chunk of the fight, but when they were on the feet trading blows, exchanging, I thought Pettis was winning, but they gave the decision to Eddie Alvarez, and you know what? I can't really complain too much. I mean, Pettis, you can't let a guy just hold you up against the cage for minutes at a time almost. So Pettis is to blame. So I'm not sour about that loss. That decision. Now though, Pettis is fighting, like I said, Edson Barbosa, who is not a guy that's going to try to hold you up against the cage and wear you out and win by decision. Edson Barbosa, he's I'll go through his last few fights. So we'll start off 2014. He KO'd Evan Dunham. Then he won a decision against Bobby Green. Then he lost to Michael Johnson, decision. Then he beat Paul Felder. And most recently, Edson Barbosa had a tough loss against Tony Ferguson, who was a very, very talented fighter, very unpredictable, very dangerous fighter, good striker, good boxer, creative, all these things. And Barbosa was winning the fight. He won that first round, but Ferguson was just too tough for him. Submitted him in the second. It was a bloodbath. It was a good fight though. But Barbosa's still solid. I mean, there's still, like top 5 guys. Barbosa's a little outside of the top 5 when you're talking rankings, whatever. But he's still one of the elite guys, in the division. He's, I think he's ranked 6th or whatever, and that's probably about accurate. But like in my opinion, that's the strongest division in the UFC, especially when you're talking about depth. There's the top 6, 7, 8 guys are pretty freaking strong. Nate Diaz, another guy. You got Nurmagomedov, RDA, Pettis, Ferguson. You got Barbosa. You got Pettis. You got Nate Diaz. Michael Johnson. I mean, it's a strong, very strong division. But this fight is going to be awesome. I'm not going to put out a prediction yet. I would say I'm leaning towards Pettis at this point, but who really knows? I really don't know who's the better striker here. I mean, Barbosa is one of the best strikers in the UFC, and same with Pettis. So it's going to be an awesome fight. It's on a stacked card. A stacked card. It's UFC 197, which the headliner is John Jones taking on Daniel Cormier for the rematch. And the co-main event is flyweight champion Demetrius Mighty Mouse Johnson, one of the best pound-for-pound fighters in the world today, taking on a former gold medal Olympian, I should say, Henry Cejudo. He won a gold medal in freestyle wrestling, I believe, back in 2008. So this is, and then now you're throwing on Pettis and Barbosa. This is going to be an awesome card. Can't wait. Great fight. I'm so happy it's got made. The fight got made, and can't wait to put out a prediction video for this one. But if you like the video, subscribe. And that's it for this one. MMA Boxing Talk. Peace.